G'day and welcome back to the channel, Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. If you wouldn't mind, please do give this video a thumbs up, be much appreciated. And if you're interested in movies, talking about movies and discussing all different types of movies, horror, sci-fi mainly, a few others thrown in here or there, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It'd be much appreciated. Now, what are we doing here today and what movie are we looking at? Well, we are looking at a movie called silentzone from 2024. Now, this was directed by peterdeak. It stars mattdevere, lucapapp, Nicolette Barbaras, Declan Hannigan, Alexis Latham, and many more. The plot. In a zombie-ravaged world, a resourceful teen and her protector fight for survival, facing relentless dangers and testing the limits of hope and loyalty. First up, I do want to say a big thank you to Walkden Entertainment and Peter Walkden for providing me this film to review. And let me tell you, I was looking forward to this. I mean, I'm a zombie fan. I love zombie films. So of course, I was keen to check this one out. But let's be honest. The zombie genre is, or rather has been, oversaturated for some time now. But even so, I wanted to see what this could offer. And the trailer looked well done and it intrigued me. So I was very, very keen to see if this one actually could have brought something new to the zombie genre. But that being said, let's go and take a bite out of this one.
Big bushy, he's a ninja on the prowl, smacking on pretenders with a salty caramel growl. 50-second flicks, reviews hotter than the sun. Sword master, underwater battles never done. Rocket shot, steady hand, cold as ice. Critics in the crosshairs, he don't think twice. Movie scenes dissected, sliced with precision. Beard game strong, legendary vision. Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice flashing waves, no denying he's a king. Salted caramel essence, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Ninja, barrel pristine. Voice slicing waves, no denying he's the king. Salted caramel essence, leaves him in awe. Movie review, assassin laying down law. Bear oil packed, ready for the fight. Where the sharks afflicts, he conquers the night. From silver screens to ocean depths below. Ninja reigns, that's all you gotta know. Bear oil stash glistening in the light. Mixed vodka with knowledge crafted in sight. Shark fin haters, they scatter per sight. Ninja's wisdom, looking dynamite. Legends we crafted from tales people tell. Salted caramel dreams, see the vodka in juice shell. 60 seconds flat, analyze it with flair. Ninja forever, ain't nobody compare.
Now, kicking it off with the cast, and look, the performances in silentzone help ground its familiar post-apocalyptic premise. While the story doesn't break any new ground in terms of narrative structure, the chemistry between lucapapp and mattdevere give the film an emotional core. Lucapapp delivers a very strong performance, balancing vulnerability and strength as someone who's grown up in the apocalypse. And this makes her character, Abigail, very easy to root for the most part. There was a few scenes at the end where I thought her character was acting a bit selfish, but being in that situation, having never been around those people, it is believable that she would want to be around people her age. So yeah, it was very well done. And whilst that part kind of stuck out to me, the rest of it was fantastic. mattdevere brings a world-weary intensity to his role, making, I think it was Cassius, one of the film's standout performances. You know, he is a very strong, macho person, but he's also very protective and somewhat overprotective. The supporting cast also do a very good job as well. You know, there's nothing there. And I do want to highlight Alexis Latham, who gave a really chilling performance and brought a lot of intensity to his role, making him I don't want to call him a villain, but he is the villain of the piece. It makes him a very fascinating antagonist. So Peter Deak's direction, it showcases a strong grasp of atmospheric tension and effectively utilizes Hungary's landscapes to depict the world in ruin. And his eye for certain shots is really breathtaking. I'm assuming they use a lot of overtop drone shots and things like that, and it's really well done. It creates a sense of, you know, desolation and desperation because everything is crumbling, it's worn, it's 10 years after. And I know I did a review of a movie called 10 Years Later. This movie does take place 10 years after again. Um, Side note to that one. But it does create that atmosphere, that universe really well. You know, the film's pacing, I do need to highlight this because it maintains a very suspenseful pace, which I was really surprised at. The film's runtime is almost 2 hours. And for a zombie film, that's excessive for the most of the time. You know, 90 minutes, fine. Nearly 2 hours, I was hesitant. But not once did this film loosen its grip on me. I was enthralled. I wanted to see where the characters went. I was drawn in by the characters and their story in this post-apocalyptic journey. You know, it's primarily due to the screenplay, which sets it apart by offering a character-driven story arc that it's not exactly groundbreaking. You've seen little bits of these things happen in other movies, in other TV shows, but it provides an engaging dynamic between the protagonists. And this is what helped kept me engaged in the actual movie and kept me watching. Not once did I look at my phone. Not once was I concerned at the time. The movie just grabs you and keeps you locked in. Now, I will say that some of the narrative choices, like I said, they will feel familiar, and that's especially to genre enthusiasts. But as I said, it's an oversaturated market, so it's bound to be some crossover here and there. But I honestly don't let that just, take you away from this film. It definitely will grab you, and I guess with that familiarity, I always have issues with that word, familiarity. It's nice for a zombie film. So now on to the effects. And look, the special effects, particularly depiction of the feral creatures, is commendable. There is nothing much about them that sets them apart. They mostly use practical effects over CGI, and that really did work for me. That's not to say there isn't CGI in the film, don't get me wrong, and I'll touch on that in a sec. The film doesn't shy away from depicting violence with gunshots, flesh being torn away and eaten. The zombies themselves, however, they don't look rotted. They look dirty, grimy, and infected. If you look at other zombie shows, take The Walking Dead, for instance, you see the walkers in The Walking Dead, they look decayed. These ones are more, they look like they're covered in dirt. Not a bad thing, but I mean, they're out in the wild. They're not showering or anything like that. They're bound to be covered in grime and dirt. So yeah, it does make sense. I mentioned the CGI, and look, this seemed to be limited mostly to gunshots or muzzle flashes and the explosion near the end. Now, it's not a spoiler because, yeah, it was obvious that it was coming a mile away. Now on to rewatchability. I think I'll definitely rewatch this one. It's probably not one that I will go back and rewatch over and over. Like, for an example, 2004's Dawn of the Dead. I am a huge fan of that film. I'll rewatch that any day of the week. But whilst I won't be rewatching this one often, I can definitely see myself going back and revisiting this one, especially if they do a sequel. So, final verdict. Silentzone delivers solid entertainment for fans of post-apocalyptic thrillers and action movies. If you're a fan of zombie films, you should be a fan of this one. The chemistry between the main characters and the eerie atmosphere and the environment, they all work well together. The story may lack some originality in places, but overall, it's a decent watch for any genre enthusiast. For a score, Silentzone gets a 7 out of 10. There you have it. That is my review of Silentzone. Have you seen this one? If you have, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. But if you haven't, let me know if you're going to go check it out, because I'd be keen to hear your thoughts on this one if you do get to see it. But that being said, I do want to say a big thank you again to Peter Walkden over at Walkden Entertainment. Like I said, I'll pop his links down below. Make sure you check him out. Great guy. Lots of movies. He is an absolute movie buff when it comes to this. Like, yeah, can't say enough. So thank you very much for this one. Definitely do appreciate it. But before I ramble on too much, if you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button. Be much appreciated. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Of course, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I do release a new review. Do have a lot of good ones coming up, so hopefully we'll see you back then. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.
Like Big Bushy, he's a ninja on the prowl, smacking on pretenders with a salty caramel growl. 50-second flicks, reviews hotter than the sun. Sword master, underwater battles never done. Vodka shot, steady hand, cold as ice. Critics in the crosshairs, he don't think twice. Movie scenes dissected, sliced with precision. Beard game strong, legendary vision. Ninja, bear royal prestige.